one time at band camp. Well, you can't see it too well, but this is the view from my floor. That's a lake. Yeah, I was invited to work with a youth orchestra this week up in Maine at the NEMC music camp. Going to my room right now. We're in a lodge, kind of talking kind of quietly in case people are napping. But this is my room. I can't really do, oh, it's blurry. I can't really do much with a room with what little time we have. Plus I generally live kind of in a mess. But this is my sleeping bag. This is my desk. My vegan snacks. You know, clothes and stuff. My clarinet. The fan is on. It's like 90 degrees. Bookshelf. Me. And let's see if I can show you my view, if you can still hear me over the roar of the fan. That is the main rehearsal hall over there. Over here. Where is it? Right there. And these are all little practice cabins that nobody's in because it's like 90 degrees and they're all baking in the sun. But yeah, and down that path there is an outdoor hat shell, more practice cabins, more cabins for faculty, and yeah. So that's what it's like here. It's quite beautiful. I was gonna do some reading out on the porch, but there's a lot of little kids, a lot of them, a lot of babies, because it's the coolest area right now, but maybe I'll do some reading in another shady area, but show you what I'm reading. Rereading, actually. Buzzing. Ah, pretty damn good book. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm gonna go read a little bit. Yeah, so reading didn't quite pan out for me, which is why I'm back in my room, my rustic room. So I actually was a little bit inspired to talk to you about band camp, because what musician hasn't been to band camp? Now, in my personal experience, I have had band camp for the band geeks and orchestra camp for the orc dorks. I was each one simultaneously. And I actually, the camp that I'm at right now and the youth orchestra that I'm teaching right now, I actually played in as a kid and attended during a couple summers, actually, which is kind of cool because they all meet at a summer camp. They get to know each other. They get to know the music, the conductors. They spend 1 to 2 weeks just living together. And then they come back to Boston and they start up again when it kind of correlates to when school starts. So they start up again in the fall. Also, if my computer sounds like a rocket ship about to take off, I apologize. I think I don't know, it's getting hot in the bottom. And it's hot in my room, and I turned the fan off, so this video probably isn't going to be too much longer, but I came to this camp about 10 years ago, and we had kind of free range, it felt like, over the whole campus. And I mean, we still had to be indoors by like 10:30 or 11, but yeah, now it's like they have to check in at every single checkpoint to make sure that every single person is accounted for. And they either have to be at an activity, or in their dorm, or in the lodge, or in this other place, and they all have to check in and know where everybody is. And even if someone leaves rehearsal to go to like the nurse or something, they have to let everybody know that this person is going to be at the nurse. So it's kind of high security. I didn't remember it being this strict. Cell phones aren't allowed. They give you the option of handing them to your counselor, which I don't think anybody did, or keeping it and taking the SIM card out, which I don't know how you would do that with a smartphone, but and I didn't remember that either. But also, I came here 10 years ago when phones weren't really a thing. Like, I think I had like a little tiny like Nokia thing that would butt dial everybody, and there's actually absolutely no service here. I haven't been able to make a phone call or receive texts that aren't iMessages, but the good thing is all of the faculty and counselors, they all get to use the Wi-Fi, but the kids don't have the password. Maybe we could start charging like $20 per password. I'm not. But yeah, I mean, everybody's got a story about band camp. Like when I was here, like people were like making out in practice cabins. My friends were kind of like, we were like the cool people of the orc dork scene, which I don't know what that's saying about me. But yeah, we kind of were like the older kids, like we've been here the longest, and we know all the administrators, so we actually started like, I don't know, probably an illegal campfire in the woods. Um, I don't know if they still do a talent show, but there was one hell of a talent show that I might link below because it might be on YouTube. And yeah, I don't know, it's a lot, it's very different. It's very different now. But what hasn't changed is, I guess, the amount of rehearsal time that the kids have. So the kids actually have a ridiculous schedule. It's not all fun and games and rules. Let me see if I can find the schedule from a couple days ago. So basically, the day starts at 7:45. That's when breakfast is served. And I actually live above the dining hall, so I don't even need an alarm clock to wake up. I can just wake up to the dull roar of 400 children below me having breakfast. So that's that. Then at 8:15 they have their announcements. Then they go off to wherever they're rehearsing to warm up. It's kind of the same for us too. Like we have a faculty meeting at 8:30, and I haven't had to be up that early for a very long time. So, yeah, so we have our meeting to be on the same page about schedules, and then rehearsals start 9 o'clock on the button, on the downbeat at 9, which means everyone has to be in their seat by 8:45, and tuned and ready to go, or at least that's the goal. But yeah, then they have an hour and a half of rehearsal, followed by a 15-minute break, followed by another hour and a half rehearsal. So 3 hours of rehearsal before lunch. Then there's lunch. Then this cracked me up, a rest period in the cabins. So they all go back and take a nap, apparently. And then there's like an hour of recreation time, or chamber music, if that's something that they signed up for to do in addition to orchestra. So more rehearsal, like another hour of rehearsal. And then there's another hour of chamber music or recreation time. And then there's an hour of free time after that before dinner, where most kids are actually practicing their instruments, so it's more playing. And then after dinner, there's another hour and a half rehearsal all together as an orchestra or in their individual sections. And then there's like an evening activity. Last night it was s'mores. My first night here was square dancing. And tonight I think it's movie night. And whenever we did movie night, when I was here 10 years ago, we skipped it and went into the woods and made our own campfire, which we weren't supposed to do. And we get caught and we get yelled at and sent back. But they kind of let us off easy. But yeah, I don't know what would. I think it's just impossible for kids to escape wherever they are. I don't know. It's intense. And then 10:30 lights out. So that's, let's see, 3 hours of rehearsal, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's like 6 to 7 hours of playing your instrument every day. You know, it's intense. It's intense, but actually it's in cabins. It's not intense. But yeah, it's getting really hot, so I'm gonna turn the fan back on, close the movie, and I'll see you in my next video. Yeah, I'm eating cornflakes with my hand. because I forgot a spoon. Alright, like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Yeah, I don't have to tell you.